Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Hello everyone, welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Doctor Strange, the movie that we're talking about.
The movie.
Tonight.
Not the comic book.
Not the comic book. It just, I wanted to say season blah blah blah, episode blah blah blah, but
I know, it's
just
kind of...
it's just a movie.
Doctor Strange, season 1, episode 1, pilot.
God, I hate when shows do that.
Episode 1, pilot.
Yeah, that just irks me.
It was the pilot episode in a lot of cases. And you'll notice, like, quality differences between episode 1 and episodes 2 through 20-something.
Of course.
Remember the pilot of House?
Yes.
It was shot like a drama, and then the second episode immediately turned into a comedy.
That's funny.
It was shot with, like, a completely different, like, camera style.
Gray filter. It was, like, yeah, so it's interesting how shows can change, like...
Yeah, pilots are not always... Don't judge a show by its pilot.
Yeah, you know what? Well, that's what most studio execs have to do.
That is true. I mean as a fan.
What she said.
Because I'm not a studio exec, so I can't speak for that. Anyway, this is a movie. We're talking about Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is awesome.
Yeah.
And it's... I think one of the... It's honestly got the realest, like, lesson of any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies.
You solve all your problems with magic?
No. It's that arrogance and ego are your downfall. It's not always about you, and you have to fail to succeed and to be happy. Like, seriously, I had a whole thing of it. Like, I wrote so much, like, in my notes about it.
This movie is the one Marvel movie that I've seen more than any of the others.
Oh, yeah?
I've seen it like 7 times.
I'm sorry, I'm a Captain America whore.
Yeah.
I've seen the Guardians movies like 3 times each.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this one like 7 times, and I've seen the other ones like once or twice.
Yeah, I've seen... Most of the Marvel movies I've only seen once in theaters. I mean, I've seen the second Thor a couple of times. Guardians I've seen multiple times each, but those are just like... You could put those on in the background and they're always good.
Right.
But, you know, I thought, I watched it again today. 1.5 times today, actually, because I knew we were doing this and I needed it fresh in my head. But it has to be like 5 or 6 times I've seen it.
And
I think
I
it's
really
like
enjoy
3
it.
for me.
And there's the one movie that I haven't ever seen. Ant-Man.
Oh, Ant-Man. Which is I liked Ant-Man.
Yeah, it was
Good.
I feel like the only thing I missed was when he popped up in the Civil War, and I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul Rudd, hey!
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Just
Like-
he's just Paul Rudd. It's all you need to know, really.
That's all I thought it was. Like, why is Paul Rudd in this movie?
I believe we did do an Ant-Man podcast, and that was
That was a
a
while
while
ago.
ago. Yeah. Well, the movie came out a while ago.
Was on it.
You're right, we did do one.
Was I on it? I think I was on it.
Probably. I don't remember.
I'm gonna check the VOD.
Yeah, and this, Doctor Strange as a character starts out as just a giant fucking douchebag. He,
Yeah.
shits on the other doctors because they're, it's not as glorious as what he does. He, Christine, who is an amazing person who helps him after he goes through his car crash, just shits on her. And, like, I think it's a big part of Doctor Strange's journey is, like, anybody who's looking for something that they want and finding out that what they wanted isn't what they need, and it's not what they need to be happy, and it's not what they've needed the entire time. Because he goes out looking to fix his hands so he could be a surgeon again, because that's the only thing he's ever had that made him fulfilled. And that's not what he needed the whole time.
Mm-mm. And you're mentioning how he started off being a gigantic douchebag, which seems to be somewhat recurring thing with Marvel heroes. I'm thinking Tony Stark here. But he starts off as a giant douche. He gets hurt, shits on Christine. And it's funny we were talking about it because I felt for about 5 minutes of this movie, and I thought about this today, that I was watching an episode of House. When he's
a
like
douchebag,
berating
just like
her,
House.
just being a douche to her, like, oh, look, I'm just another charity case, someone you could fix. You care so much. And I'm like, holy shit, this is word for word a House episode. I have to go find it. And
Did you
I didn't
find the
do
House
that.
episode?
No, I didn't do that because I forgot about it until
You know
just
what?
now.
One day we'll find that House episode.
I swear to God, it was the exact
No,
dialogue.
it like
close
line
enough.
Yeah.
No, if not a very close conversation happened between him and what's her name?
Christine.
Sure.
Were you talking about Strange or
Talking about House.
Oh, House.
Oh,
I don't know. I didn't watch the show.
Cuddy. There it is.
Funny, yeah.
It, honestly just felt like a really long episode of House with fucking magic in it.
That's all right with me.
Which is fine. Which is just totally fine. But I was really worried, it was going to turn into, basically Tony Stark Jr.
I'm glad.
And at least it seems like Doctor Strange has learned his lesson, unlike Tony, who seems to keep making the same mistakes. But I guess we haven't seen him in more than one movie yet, so...
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think... I don't know. I think Tony Stark as a character has a lot more deep-rooted problems than Strange does.
I don't know. I liked Tony Stark in the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, well...
I liked him better there than any of the other movies, so
Oof.
I think he
That's
kind of changed.
Listen, I can talk about Tony Stark in Spider-Man Homecoming for, days on end. I have a lot of opinions on that. But we're planning on doing a Spider-Man podcast, so stay tuned.
Like a week or two.
We'll play. We'll see how catching up on the Netflix stuff goes, but yeah, fingers crossed. Soon.
Soon TM.
But yeah, I think I have a lot of problems with Tony Stark as a character. I like Strange more.
Oh, yeah.
There's he's got a nice character arc.
He seems to have jumped into his role a little bit more, I don't know, fully.
Yeah.
Because, there's, we know he's going to have a tidbit in Thor Ragnarok, which is, I think, the next movie to come out.
It is.
November, yeah. November. So, when we even get a teaser of that in an end credit scene or everything, he seems to have just jumped right into the role. I keep a list of people of extra dimensional entities who would be dangerous to Earth, and your brother Loki is high on that list.
Yeah.
And just basically when you find Odin, you guys will leave promptly. Oh yes, promptly. Great, let's get started.
Great, let's do this. Let's
just
get you the fuck out of here. Yeah.
I don't know if I sense enthusiasm in performing his duties or... but he definitely found some meaning in it. More than, fix the shaky hands, which, if you notice, at no point in the movie does he stop his hands from shaking.
No, he doesn't.
Even though he's probably more than capable of doing it at this point.
Yeah.
Well, maybe when he's channeling his magic.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. His hands are still shaking at the very end of the movie.
But he doesn't seem to care.
No. We see... So Jonathan Pangborn's the dude who was paraplegic. He went to train with them, and he could walk again. He came, back to New York, is living his life, doing basketball, whatever. I actually, before I looked up his name, was calling him Basketball Dude.
Basketball Dude.
And I'm not sure if they said it in so many words, but he is constantly using his magic to walk.
Yeah,
So
he's
he is
channeling.
constantly, channeling magic in order to, rework. Oh God, I forgot how the
The
ancient one phrased it.
Well,
Yeah,
if
they
I
actually
remember,
do.
good.
So they actually do explain on there that eventually they go into explaining that he is constantly using the magic
Yes.
to move his legs because his legs can't move on their own anymore, and his brain has just kind of like relearned to use that instead of the nerves.
Yeah. She said your body can be convinced to put itself back together in new ways, healing nerves, which is what Strange has been looking for. And where was I going with that? Oh, that I think in Strange's mind now, at the end of the film, that would be a waste of his power. To constantly focus. He can use that magic for something else.
Well, yeah, because his entire goal was fix my hands.
Yeah.
I'm nothing without my hands. I need them to do brain surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Quite literally. So hands are broken. Now it's, okay, we can teach you how to fix your hands, so you're going to learn magic. And he's like, well, I need my hands to learn magic. And then he figures out he really doesn't need his hands to learn magic, finds a bigger purpose in that, realizes, shit, I don't need my hand. I don't want to be a neurosurgeon anymore, so fuck my hands.
Yeah, and that was, I think, one of the like little giggle moments was she calls the Master Hamir up, and he takes out his non-hand and does the
Just like stump.
Because he's missing his entire hand, and he does the portal thing, which I have to say, the Ancient One left Strange on Mount Everest. And when she came back, Mordo looked at her and was like, not again. It's like, how many times have you left newbies stranded on Mount Everest?
Like, he actually says it like, oh dear God, not again. No.
It's like, how many times?
Enough to say not again.
Enough.
Enough to be concerned.
At least one.
This is her thing, She just wants to do it to prove, to make the people do it themselves.
Yeah.
Because if they can't figure out how to get back, then they're not worthy of her time, so to speak.
It's basically the equivalent of teaching someone to swim by kicking them off a pier.
Yeah. Which, parents have done that.
Probably for centuries.
Yeah. Do or die.
Hey, it worked.
Yes, it did work. It forced him to do it. And I liked the Ancient One. I liked that it was a lady.
I liked how she was evil, but she didn't go for evil means.
Yeah, and I'm not sure she was evil, because at the end of like looking through all my notes and all that, I realized she was using the dark energy from the dark dimension to keep herself young, to use her, but it seemed like that's all she used it for, was just to keep herself young. And it didn't seem like Dormammu knew, or that she was serving Dormammu in any way.
Well, they didn't go into that aspect of it, but she was using the power, and she had herself, whether her reasoning was sound or not, she had herself convinced it was for the greater good. Like, hey, I'm the Sorcerer Supreme. I'm supposed to do all this stuff to protect the Earth. So, what better way to protect the Earth than not ever dying? And hey, I have a source of power here. I'm going to use it.
It's also possible, and we don't know. And I like that they left a lot of it ambiguous. Maybe to be answered in the future, maybe to never be answered. But maybe when she first became Sorcerer Supreme and saw into the future, because she's been able to see into the future for a long time. So maybe she lived this long life and knew that's what she had to do.
Probable, possible. Her whole other thing is, the whole other thing that comes up, especially with Mordo, is, the hypocrisy of it. It's forbidden, yet you're doing it. Like, maybe it's a whole, she forbade it because she figured out how to do it, started doing it, and realized, hey, this could go south really quick. We're talking, Star Wars comparison. It could be like the Force. You start dipping into the dark side, you go dark side.
Yeah.
So, maybe she
none of us
realized...
are
Not always the
Master Clo
case.
Clue.
Yeah, not always the case, but in her case, she's probably like, this could be very tempting. It could go very badly for people, so I'm just going to forbid it.
Well,
Keep doing
Well,
it, but I'm going to forbid it.
yeah, it's like your parents telling you not to smoke because they're smoking a cigarette. But
And that's a thing about this whole structure that they have in the Sorcerers Guild. What do they call it? Do they call it an order or a... I don't know.
Yes?
I think they call it a gaggle.
A gaggle of sorcerers. In this
Precisely
gaggle
what
of
it's called.
sorcerers, and this is something Wong says. I think multiple people say it. No knowledge is forbidden. Only certain spells if you don't have the skills yet.
Mm-hmm.
But then, yeah, we go on and we learn, like, the Book of Cagliostro, that's not cool, you don't do stuff from there, and that's forbidden. And then it's like, wait a second, but I thought you said nothing was forbidden.
See, no knowledge is forbidden, just certain practices is the way he put it.
Yeah, but it seemed like they didn't want
So-
him reading the Book of Cagliostro either.
Well, that was her the Ancient One's private collection. And I mean, he did, Wong let him take the book and read through it. Like, he did read it, that initial time.
He didn't think he'd be stupid enough to go pick up the time gem and do some experiments.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And, hey, I mean, I think we all knew Doctor Strange was going to involve another, Infinity Stone at this point.
Yeah.
well, the Eye of Agamotto's his thing.
Yeah,
So-
that is his thing.
It's just we didn't know that the Eye of Agamotto would be... I don't know if people guessed, because I wasn't really reading stuff before I went to see it.
No, I didn't until as soon as Wong said, until you master its power, best not walk around in public with an Infinity Stone. And I was like, and at that exact moment I went, oh, Mike, you dumb shit. Of
I
course,
know
it's right in front of you, the whole fucking movie. Like, come on. Like, it even opens and it's glowing the same color as all of the other ones you've seen in every other movie. Like,
Yeah. I was honestly so engrossed. I wasn't mad at myself because I'm so engrossed in the story that I wasn't even thinking about the rest of the universe.
mhm.
That's part of why I really love this movie in this universe. Because, yeah, it fits. But you're not really... Your mind's not wandering thinking how it fits.
Anyway, I was just happy. We know where 5 of them are now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, and it's got me thinking, because it seems like before Strange, the Sorcerers Guild, I'm gonna keep changing what I call them, was very, cloistered. So they kept to Karma-Taj, they kept to the sanctums, and they just protected them. But with Strange here, he seems like he's leaving the sanctum. He's going to find Loki. He's doing all this other stuff to protect the world and not just the sanctums. So I'm wondering if they're gonna run into, the Hand. They're in New York. They're on Bleecker Street. I'm wondering if they're gonna run into the Hand at some point.
Now, my whole thing is, the sanctums are there to prevent the world from... They're like a big shield generator against Dormammu.
Mm-hmm.
Well...
And other cosmic entities, I think.
and so by protecting the sanctums, they protect the Earth. Now, he made that bargain with Dormammu. Basically, go away, never come back, and I let you out of this time loop.
Yeah.
Pretty much held him hostage for that one. So if Dormammu honors that bargain, he's no longer a threat. And so now Strange has other threats to worry about. Also the fact that, news of the Ancient One's death is going to spread.
Yes.
People are going to know about it.
I would feel really bad that the Hand would encounter him or Thor. That would be a big mistake on their part.
I'm gonna imagine, even if there's probably gonna be nothing like that. I'm gonna imagine somewhere between Strange and Thor going to find Odin. In between, they fight a group of hand soldiers. It's just...
And what's that going to do?
Nothing, absolutely nothing. They're gonna kick the shit out of them.
Zero.
And they're gonna move on.
Yeah.
It's just
I just
funny.
want the Hulk to get in there. Just be like, hey, come here. I'll show you something.
Yeah. I really liked Caecilius as a villain. I thought he was, I mean, crazy, obviously. He had a bunch of zealots, and I always love a villain that's got some zealots.
And eyeshadow.
And that glitter was spot
Interdimensional
on.
eyeshadow.
Dark dimension eyeshadow.
It wasn't until he channeled that energy that he got his
It's true.
very well done eyeshadow.
It's true.
And you got to know that whoever was had Mads Mikkelsen in the makeup chair that day was having a fuck ton of fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I'm just applying eyeshadow to a beautiful man.
And I think one of my favorite parts with him is Strange has him in that weird trap thingy. And it's just a close-up on his face for, like, an uncomfortable amount of time. But clearly that was the point. And he just delivers this whole dramatic speech, and he's, like, crazy eyeshadows and his crazy eyes. And it's just, like... I remember the theater watching it the first time, I was like, go on.
Go on. I'm enthralled.
Yeah.
No wonder you have zealots.
Yeah. Because I think at that point he was going on about, oh, what did the Ancient One teach you? She's keeping shit from you. She's using the dark dimension.
He was going on, yeah, that. He was going on more about, Dormammu's not a destroyer.
Oh.
He's going to take our world to be part of the one world. And, like, everybody's going to live forever and all this nice shit. And it's like, yeah, great if, that's a hell of a spin you're putting on it. But, at face value, that'd be fantastic. That's not the case, though.
Yeah, and he, like, tries to appeal to Strange's, like, he's a doctor, so he fights death on, like, a constant basis, and...
He uses
a
word...
put an end to death.
He uses a phrase Strange uses way earlier in the movie, like a speck, a momentary speck in an uncaring universe.
Yeah,
something along those lines.
I wrote it down. Hold on.
Like, he uses the exact same words that Strange uses, and
a
it's
small
either
speck in an indifferent universe.
So either he had some kind of mind ready fucky ducky there, or like, yeah, because that clearly hits Strange for a second, like, oh shit, that's kind of my philosophy.
Yeah.
Fuck, I agree with this guy. No, I don't.
It's interesting that, since we have so many cosmic events going on at the time of this recording, I was listening to a podcast that brought up the pale blue dot picture, the famous one that Carl Sagan had taken with the Voyager. It's like the last picture it took before its camera shut down, and if you ever see it, it's rather striking because the Earth is this, little pixel, this little blue pixel, like right in the bottom corner of your screen. Like, that's where, people are fighting over land, and it is gone in a blink of an eye, and all of humanity, all of history is in that little pixel.
Yeah, that picture, and you also that picture was taken on, like, 1970s technology camera.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, yeah, NASA always throws state-of-the-art onto their probes and stuff like that, so still, I mean, if it was a current modern camera, that would be a very interesting picture.
Hey, if I go to my uncle's shelf and I take one of those 70s cameras and I clean that up real good, I'm pretty sure it's still going to take pretty beautiful pictures.
I'm not saying I'm talking just about, like, pure resolution.
Yeah, resolution, yeah. That's true.
Like, yes, it was a camera in space. I'm getting off topic here. I apologize.
Not that off topic.
Well, the only reason I brought it up is just because, I mean, it's not an unpopular way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
If you're at least remotely educated and are interested in science, I think, specifically a doctor like him, he had that philosophy for a completely different reason than Caecilius did, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
like-
think he realizes, maybe not in that moment, but that, yes, it's a small speck in a indifferent universe, but, you know, we can do something about it. Maybe. If we try.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a question you always see brought up in a lot of different media, and like, you know, probably people even bring this question up, like, you know, what's the sense in anything I do? Because like they mathematically they think about the universe mathematically, and it's like, yeah, nothing I do is going to ever impact anything. Like, you
Right.
know,
But if you get down to the itty bitty numbers, you're impacting
Sure, you gotta-
the itty bitty numbers.
you gotta bring it back in. Yes, on a universal scale, nothing you do is going to ever matter. I'm sorry. Period. Unless you figure out a way to blow up stars, even that on a universal scale is not going to mean shit. So, but you know, you gotta shrink
Which hopefully
it back
nobody
in.
tries to blow up a star. I don't want to see
Considering the
that.
closest one is one we need.
Yeah, one that kind of keeps us all alive.
But, you know, yeah, like you said, the little numbers, the smaller variables, the minute details, yeah, affect those. Do that. But, I mean, Caecilius also had a much broader understanding of the universe than Strange did, initially.
Yeah. He also had a very kind of angry view of it, because he found out the Ancient One was using this magic, and he was like, well, I want that shit. Why can't I have that shit? I'm good enough.
No.
And it's really just because he was mad that the teacher took his toy away or wouldn't let him have candy. Like, that's what it boils down to, a really, like, petty thing.
But another line he used, blind, you know, distracts you with parlor tricks and keeps the real magic for herself.
Yes. Yeah.
Which, yeah, you know, that's the Ancient One's private collection of all those, like, shiny books chained up there. It's like, all right.
Well,
So,
I mean, she was also
Protecting them.
responsible enough to use it without being corrupted
Yeah.
necessarily.
as far as we know, yes.
She knew she could try. I mean, look, would I be that upset if Obi-Wan just busted out some Force lightning one day? No, that'd be rad. He'd be doing it responsibly, you know.
Well, I mean, and to
I get
do
it, I do, but you know, it's like if you take if you take what Mordo did, you know,
Yeah.
just okay. Well, any evil is bad. Any manipulation of anything is bad. I should kill people.
Well, he
Mordo-
didn't kill him.
I
No, he just
He
took
stole
away
his
his
magic.
power. As
Which-
he, you know,
effectively ruining this man's
Yeah,
life.
Yes.
for sure ruined his life, but he's still alive.
his
But,
solution is less sorcerers.
Yeah.
His solution is just as stupid as Tilda Swinton. That line. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I get the whole, like, everybody's a hypocrite in this movie, is basically what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
and I think that's another thing I find so fascinating about this movie. Because it's not just that everyone's a hypocrite, it's that everyone has, like, this cross-section of ideals.
And
And-
Mordo is just rigidly lawful good and, you know,
Yeah.
completely immune to an alignment shift.
He has an existential crisis, basically, at the end, because he's like, hey, everything I knew is a lie. She's been using this shit for centuries. She's the reason that the
right.
Zealots, you know, did the thing in the first place.
And, you know, and something that's probably going through Mordo's head, even I'm a bit of a hypocrite, because in the thick of it, you know, it's Strange is like breaking reality, and, you know, he even says to him, Mordo says directly, well, don't stop now.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, keep breaking reality.
Right, at this point,
Yeah.
you know.
It's all or nothing at this point.
It's like, well,
Either
shit,
that or we're dead.
I egged them on.
Yeah. Yeah, so he and it seems like his post-credit scene where he goes and he steals the magic from Jonathan, it seems like the same amount of time has passed for Strange as for him, you know, so those two scenes feel like they're taking. So I imagine Mordo just went to some weird mountain and meditated for like 9 months, and decided no more sorcerers. That's it. I have a vendetta now.
He went through some like things in his own head and probably used some kind of circular logic and convinced himself like that's the solution.
Man, I'm smart.
Yeah, that's the solution. Sorcerers can't fuck the world up. Sorcerers can't disobey and use dark practices that could potentially destroy the world if there are no sorcerers. Yeah, but then who's going to protect the world?
Right. I mean, it doesn't. It only gets him so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't think he's blinded. He's got blinders on. I don't think he's thinking that far ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But I was reading up a little bit on his weapon, the something tribunal, something. Hold on, it's a long
Staff of the Tribunal.
Yes, the Staff of the Living Tribunal.
That was it.
And actually, he has 2 relics. He has a pair of boots called the Boots of Valtor, and that's what lets him do the steppy thing.
The vaulting boots of Valtor.
Yes. Because he mentioned that in, like, a line of different, like, relics he mentioned. I didn't realize those were his as well. So he's got the boots and he's got the staff. And I don't know much about Strange in the comics. But the Living Tribunal is a character who wields a staff, which I forgot the name. Please tell me I still have the thing up. Yes. No. Yes. But the Living Tribunal wields a staff, the Staff of Polar Power, which people are thinking that the Staff of the Living Tribunal is actually that staff.
And that was probably their, nod to the comic nerds, like the Living Tribunal name drop, without actually having to put the Living Tribunal into the MCU.
Actually, it might be a tip that Mordo was going to play a bigger role in Infinity Wars when it comes around.
Well, yeah, because if their whole thing is to keep, things in check, then, Thanos getting 6 Infinity Stones and killing a lot of people is kind of going to tip the scales in one way.
Yeah.
Because, if they go the same way the Infinity War storyline with, when he puts that gauntlet on with all 6 gems, he kills half the universe. Just half.
Yeah.
Like, there's there's 100 trillion life forms in the universe, now there's 50. Okay, that sucks. Great job.
Yeah, and it would explain, and we have set photos for Infinity Wars, and there is Doctor Strange and Wong. So it would explain why both of them are there, if Mordo is involved. Mordo. It's with an O. Which I recently learned his name is Carl.
Hi, Carl.
His name is Carl Mordo.
There's a reason why it doesn't go by Carl.
I read that. I had to read it 3 times because I didn't believe it.
Well, the other thing, I don't know if it's a guarantee because, Thanos is an existential threat to everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seen and unseen. So it makes sense that Doctor Strange is going to get involved just based on the fact that it's fucking Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
so I don't know. I feel like they don't use a character-specific villain unless they really have to, if you've noticed in these crossovers.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yes, Loki was the villain in Avengers, sort of. But,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they're just going to pull Mordo out just for that.
Yeah.
No, but
I think it would detract. Maybe he'll have a small part, but I don't think he's going to be, fighting anybody.
I don't know. We'll see. I think it might just be like a tip he's going to be in it. We'll see him again sooner than we think.
Yeah, and they used Loki just because he was the familiar villain at that point. That was available.
And for real, though, that was the best dynamic villain to team so far, I think.
Loki could have done a lot more damage, technically. He had the power of 2 Infinity Stones at his disposal.
I know.
He
didn't... nobody knew about the staff, though.
No, exactly. It's like, we're going to give you a staff that contains an Infinity Stone. We're going to remote activate another one. You're going to go there, take the other one, and just completely drop the fucking ball.
Get put
But-
in the ground.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, I mean, clearly Thanos is probably very, very pissed about that. Because he's the one who gave the staff to him.
Yeah, I don't think we know enough about Thanos.
Mm-mm.
But I've been saying this for years. I think he has to have at least a gem or two on him.
Well, yeah, we don't know where the Soul Gem is.
Yeah.
And I'm going to, just real quick here. We don't know where the Soul Gem
We
is.
don't know where
He
the
had-
Aether is.
The Aether is... Oh, yeah, that's right.
We don't know where
since
the Aether is.
Since the Collector's Collection got destroyed, we don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Because, the Collector had the Aether. Then, they brought them the Power Stone, the Orb, and, his assistant decided, hey, I'm going to use this thing and just fuck everything up.
Yeah.
So we don't know where that went. But, Thanos had the Mind Gem. He had it in a staff, gave it to Loki. So if he only had one, it's kind of stupid to give away your
Yeah.
only one in a
which is why I
gamble to
think
get a second.
He's got at least another.
Which is why, I'm leaning to it. There's only two people in my mind that could have the Soul Gem right now. Thanos or Heimdall. That's it.
Yeah,
or
I've
Adam
heard.
Warlock.
Adam Warlock isn't even born yet.
I don't want to talk about it.
Anyway.
This is gonna be for another podcast.
The reason...
We're getting
I
spoiler
went over
territory.
this. I've talked to Cleo about this a few weeks ago, but the reasoning I think Heimdall has it is, one, we don't know where it is. Two, his armor, if you really pay attention to it in the Thor movies, has a bright green gem in the chest plate in the dead center. And the way he talks, I could see 10 trillion souls right now.
His eyes are
and his
also
eyes,
a yellow-orange.
they glow funky.
Yeah.
Like,
Which, if you watch Wanda use her powers, she glows.
Yeah, like just the way he drops that, like I could see 10 trillion souls
vision.
right now. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
They both glow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just my conspiracy theory here.
It's all right. We all get them from
terrible.
time to time.
Mm-hmm.
My conspiracy theory is what everybody shot me down. It was in Captain America's Civil War. It had something to do with Crossbones, and everyone was like, "No, Crossbones is dead. There's no bigger plot there." And I'm like, I'm convinced. There's
Hey,
something
you were
bigger
right.
going on. With what?
That this was before Civil War, right? That Crossbones was.
That was Civil War.
Oh, that
That was
was.
Civil
Yeah,
War. but
that
he
was
died.
Civil War. No, like after he had
Yeah, he-
died, like in.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about
No.
like before that. Okay, no, yeah, you're right.
No, I thought he was like working with some like I'm paranoid. Just anyway, we're talking about Doctor Strange.
Hey, it's the MCU. It's everything's linked together.
Yes, no, that's true. We didn't get that far off topic.
No, and I mean, we are what, 2 movies away from it all being like just smushed together? Because we got Thor Ragnarok, and then Infinity War Part 1's next, right? Am I mistaken?
Black Panther.
Black Panther.
My
okay.
dude, Black Panther. It's gonna be the best.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm so hyped for Black Panther. Like, of course I want to see Ragnarok, but like, if I could just jump to February and like come back, I would do it.
hmm Yeah, I agree with you. Hold on, let me see. Infinity War is 2000. Okay, so we are within a year
I
of
think
this
it's
coming out.
Summer?
May.
May. Okay.
It says May 4th,
So
2008.
February, May. And then what's late year?
I'm looking.
What's after?
Yeah, Infinity War's got a cast list this friggin' long.
Because everyone's in it. Everybody's in it.
Everybody's in it. Here we are. Spider-Man just came out. Yay. We got the Defenders. Yeah, I know. Inhumans. Yeah, so November is
Excited for
Thor.
Inhumans.
February is Black Panther. May is in Avengers, and then July is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yes, that's it. Oh, because Evangeline Lilly's been posting pictures and she is jacked to shit, and I love it.
Oh, God. And then October is Venom.
What?
Yeah. When is this article written?
Okay, I have to level with you.
This article was written 6 days ago.
I cannot handle another failed Venom. I
Tom
can't.
Hardy's is Eddie Brock.
Wait,
So-
is this an MCU movie?
No.
No.
Oh, it's
Okay.
not. Oh, good, fine. This
No,
doesn't
they're saying
doesn't matter then.
I was like, wait, Sony did another Spider-Man alignment?
okay.
Doesn't matter.
They're saying there's conflicting reports whether it'll have any ties to Spider-Man Homecoming, let alone the MCU, because it is purely a Sony production.
Okay, all right.
So it's gonna suck.
Yeah, if it's not Marvel Studios, it's not MCU.
Yeah. Because, no, I honestly don't know if I could handle another failed Venom, because I really hated Spider-Man 3. Oh, God, it was so bad.
All the Spider-Mans that Sony did were just terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
It
were
was
what,
kind of like that.
5 of them.
It was kind of like
Yeah.
that pre-MCU Hulk movie that came out.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. The Eric Bana one.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
not crazy about the MCU Hulk movie, so I think I just have a
Well-
thing against Hulk.
But it was still better, you know?
Yeah, it was a step up.
The Hulk has been better as a supporting character in
Yeah,
all of these movies than he has been the
yes.
main focus.
Right?
Yes. Now when I've created a murder bot, probably my favorite line in the Avengers.
hmm But I think even Mark Ruffalo is on record saying that there's
He doesn't want one.
nothing
Yeah.
even remotely on paper for a standalone Hulk movie, and he doesn't want one.
If you don't follow Mark Ruffalo on some form of social media, you're missing out because he is hilarious.
He really is.
He's such a great guy. So yeah, do it. You guys got anything else to say about Doctor Strange?
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
John does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go.
that was one other thing.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, there was the one thing I liked about this movie is that, like, in a way, everyone got their happy ending because, like, you know, Doctor Strange, like, you know, he's got this greater calling in life. He's, you know, got his life all fixed out. Even the villains got what they wanted because their goal was to be one with Dormammu and, you know, that dark dimension crap. And he's like, yeah, go ahead. Y'all guys got exactly what you wanted.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna like it though, because they're
You're
just
not-
like sucked up.
You're really not going to like it because Dormammu's actually really pissed off right now.
Oh
So
my goodness. My favorite part about that sequence is that Strange makes the joke that the warnings for spells come after, and then Wong is just in the back like, ha ha ha.
yeah, he bursts out laughing. Like he spends the whole movie trying to make him laugh, and it's just like stuns. Like,
Yeah, he turns
What?
around, he's like, what, that did it?
really?
None of my genius jokes.
But I mean, this movie, you know, the only thing left I have to say about it is it was very well done. It had what seems like the winning Marvel cinematic formula of action, drama, and comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it had the perfect balance of all of it. Like, you know, those little jokes thrown in there to make you giggle. Which,
The Wi-Fi password.
Oh,
yeah, it's the Wi-Fi password.
What are we,
We're not
savages?
savages. Or, you know, like, after his first astral projection, just like, what did you put in that tea?
oh yeah.
Or the fact, like, you know, Strange mentioning all these single name pop culture references
Oh
because
my God,
Wong,
yeah.
single name. It's
Yeah.
like, all right,
Beyonce,
try
Cher.
me, Beyonce. Like, come on, you know who she is. She's a huge star.
You've got
And
to,
then
and then
2
he's
minutes-
listening to Beyonce.
Yes, exactly. 2 minutes later, he's listening to Beyonce. It's like,
Love
oh,
it.
good God. I didn't see this movie in the theaters, but I have a feeling that a packed house
Oh
probably
yeah.
burst out laughing
Everyone
at that.
was
Oh, yeah.
laughing at that one.
And you really got to see these in theaters like the first week when they're full because you miss out. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not gonna say when it happened or whatever. Just say the theater watching Spider-Man, and the whole half the theater just goes audibly, "Oh shit!"
And like I could feel everyone like looking around like does everyone else know what just happened? Are we all on the
Right.
same page here?
It's like, is everybody on the same page? Just you get those random moments like that, which, yeah.
I had the same thing because I've been going to see them with my girlfriend, right? She hasn't seen any of them. And she's like right there in front of me as I'm talking about this, so it's kind of funny. But she's like, I see stuff and like I know immediately what it is, and just like I'm just over here like losing my shit, and she just like, what is it? What's going on?
I missed it.
Because it wasn't something like important in that movie, but it's like a meta reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this comic book artist did like a side by side of like the Marvel fan seeing the Marvel movie and like the non-Marvel fan seeing the Marvel movie. I love that shit.
Yeah.
There was one thing I wanted to say, and that is that Christine is awesome. I need to say it again because it deserves to be said again. And I think that
Yeah, you're awesome.
Christine, we're both awesome. Chris's art tend to be awesome. The whole thing when she's stitching him up and he's trying to explain where he's been, she's like, that sounds like a cult. Yeah, that's what a cultist would say.
It's like, that sounds like a cult. It's not a cult. That's exactly what a cultist would say.
Oh god, I loved that whole sequence. And she's trying to like keep him alive, and they're having the
Astral projection battle.
fight, and she's like, "Oh my god, what was that?"
Well, the cape tried to strangle the guy, so he almost had him.
Oh
but-
my god, the cape, the cloak of levitation. It
The
was
cloak
like
of, yeah.
Possibly the best article of clothing in the MCU.
it had its own personality, just like
Besides Steve's shirt.
All right.
You're welcome.
It had its own personality, like the carpet from Aladdin.
I was just gonna
That's
say
what it
the
reminds
carpet.
me of. Cause it like wipes his tears away, and I think the carpet did that at one point.
He pops the collar, like,
Oh yeah.
pop the collar, and then the collar's just like, no tears, no more tears.
It's like, stop it.
Stop it. Oh yeah, I want a cloak that would strangle people for me.
I know, right? And it just like came to his rescue and saved his life. It was a very like they were like the relics choose the sorcerers, and I'm like, you mean like the wand chooses the wizard, Harry? I see where we're going with this.
Like, oh, it'd be awesome to have a cloak that would strangle people for me. I seem to gloss over the fact that it would allow me to fly,
Yeah.
Right?
But
It's kind of neat.
If it
That's
did let me
kinda-
fly and strangle people for me, I'd still be okay with it.
I'd be cool with both of those things.
Flying is a movement power. Strangling people is a combat effect.
Yeah.
You can have
Yes.
both.
Yes.
It's different.
I'll take it.
Perfect.
So the one thing I wanted to bring up real quick is I loved the way they made the magic effects look. All the runes and stuff they were drawing with their hands, and even the portals that they're opening, all looked really, really cool. And like, especially when he put the Eye of Agamotto stuff over his wrist and stuff like that. That was all really cool. My one, and this is probably going to be really nitpicky and stupid, there was no shooty magic, you know?
There wasn't.
Because like I'm used to Doctor Strange, like, and this is just from the comics and the video games I played with him. In it, like he's throwing fireballs, there's lightning shooting out of the ground, like he's arranging like runes in the air to shoot for him. Like, and maybe it's just because he hasn't learned it yet.
That
but,
might
like,
be advanced.
It was
None of
mostly
the
like
low.
enhanced martial arts was basically the movie,
Yeah.
which is fine. It's just I was hoping for more like just real straight up like I shoot a fireball at your face.
Like, the only
magic.
ranged magic attack that we saw was like the
Caecilius'
ancient one.
guy.
The spear?
Well, Caecilius' guy is throwing the spears, and the ancient one taking one of those like half energy fans and throwing it like she's katana or something like that.
That was
Right, but
amazing.
even then,
She felt
it
like she
was
was
so-
Kyoshi.
Like
It's
she
like
made like a
frisbee.
physical thing, and then
Mhm.
I was just hoping for more because like he's rattling off like the flames of blah blah blah, the lightning of blah 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 blah. like he has all these different sources of magic, and I just was hoping maybe in the next movie we'll see it.
Yeah.
Or the next time we
Fireball,
see him.
shoot a lightning bolt, freeze that guy in place, turn that person into a puddle of like insects.
Yeah, like
Honestly, it
just
might
anything like that.
have been a thing that not that was forbidden, but that was in the
More advanced shit.
yeah, the Sorcerer Supreme's is secret library, like that might be something like the Book of Cagliostro that is not read by most students. Not many
Once
people
he
know.
becomes the Sorcerer Supreme, he should have all that stuff.
Mhm.
But in
Yeah.
the comics, he was the Sorcerer Supreme, and in the movie, he wasn't. So
Yes, even
Not
in
yet,
the
he
he's
was.
kind
end.
of got to work up. He's kind of got to work up to it,
Yeah.
It even says like he can fire mystic energy as bolts, slashes, bind, shields, or like what so he can he can do it in like other universes, I guess. But like it could also just have been a stylistic choice for the MCU that that we already got a couple guys shooting laser beams. Do we need another one? Because we have like Tony. That's all he does. Vision.
Vision, mind beam.
He has mind bullets. I don't know. I do hope we see him expand his magical repertoire.
Yeah, and I mean, fire's
that's all.
not a thing that any of our heroes have yet. So if he just
Nobody
shoots,
shot a fireball yet.
yeah, nobody shot a fireball. I think
Nobody breathes fire. Nobody,
Well, no, that's not true. Someone did breathe fire, and Rhodey commented on it. Like, did that man just breathe
Oh
fire?
my God, that's right. In Iron Man 3.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they had
None
that
of our
weird
heroes have done it.
energy thing.
Yeah.
They were on
But
fire.
that was like my one thing I was sort of looking for, but I didn't really miss because it was such a great movie. But just something that I like to see.
Yeah.
That's all.
Thor can't come fast enough.
I think, however, Inhumans is coming first.
Yes.
September 20th.
Is Inhumans going to be a real movie yet? Or is there still just going to be a TV
I
show?
feel like
I think
they're
it's just
releasing
TV.
the first couple
thought they
episodes in theaters.
I thought they said it was going to be they were pulling the Battlestar Galactica thing, because if you watch the newer Galactica, it's the first 2 episodes are a movie. It's like 3 hours,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
it goes into a series. But I mean, I think that's just because they made it a mini series, and then they
That is why. Yeah.
it was supposed to be like a mini series event, and then they
And then it
were
was
like, hey,
so
we can
good.
run with this. So it was very popular.
But I think they are, or at least that was the plan forever ago, that it was going to come out in theaters first, the first 2 episodes. And then
But
the
it
rest of the
doesn't
show
look
would
like
air.
doing that anymore.
No, that's upsetting! I want to see it in theaters.
Friday, September 1st. That's all it says.
Alright. September 1st?
So it says on IMDb. Season
I think
1,
my
episode
calendar
1.
is wrong.
Next week.
Yeah, in 9 days.
Son of a...
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on. Hold on. Did I'm my calendar's wrong then. Yep, the calendar's wrong. Okay, we're gonna have to fix that. Anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching. Everybody in chat, Red Band, Alex, Luis, Carlos, thank you guys. John, where can the people find you?
You can find me complaining about magic at No More on Twitter.
Mike.
You can find me counting the days till Thor Ragnarok on Twitter at Thilidrin.
I want an actual countdown every day.
I'm not doing it. I don't think I've tweeted in like 5 months,
Yeah, no, me
maybe
neither.
longer.
Danny, where can they find you?
On Twitter at Apocalypse Danny.
You can find me at Cleomoto on various places. And you can find all of us at ASO TV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, and right here on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts from some of your favorite TV shows. We don't really do video games, but maybe again soon, and movies. Until next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
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 Maybe when Dragon Ball Fighters comes out.
Haha, that'd be great.